104 FM. The honest truth.
Met Benito Vergatini.
Smile 90.4 FM.
The University of the Western Cape recently launched its Legacy Fund. Joining us to chat more about this is Director of Institutional Advancement at the University of the Western Cape, Professor Anesh Singh. Professor Singh, good evening and thank you so much for your time.
Good evening, Benito. Good evening, listeners. Thanks for having me on air this evening.
No, it's an absolute pleasure, Professor. So what is the Legacy Fund?
The Legacy Fund is basically a capital campaign that we launched on the 25th of May, the purpose of which is to raise funds in order to grow the infrastructure at the University of the Western Cape.
Why do you want to grow the infrastructure of the University of the Western Cape? Does that have a larger goal in mind?
Absolutely. We have a goal of raising up to 200 million rands in 10 years' time. And the reason for this is taking you back into the history of the University of the Western Cape. If you go back to when the university was established in 1960, one of the careers that were open to graduates was to become a police person, a nurse, or a teacher. So there weren't many opportunities available, and the infrastructure that we had at the time merely catered for what was available for graduates back in the day. However, if one looks at the university and how we have grown, we have repositioned the institution where we now even have qualifications in augmented and virtual reality. We offer data science. We're offering astrophysics. So these are careers that we didn't even think of when the university was developed. So we are looking forward into the future. We don't know what the future careers are going to be and what our graduates are going to need. But we have identified that one of the things that we will need is infrastructure. And in order to have the right infrastructure in place, we need to have the funds to be able to fund the infrastructure that is required.
Professor, what has been developed in recent times around UWC's infrastructure? What has changed of late?
Well, if one just simply looks at the university when it was developed, it was a single campus. But we now have a multi-campus in various locations around the Western Cape. We've got a Center for Humanities Research in Woodstock. We have the Faculty of Dentistry, which is in Tygerberg and also in Mitchell's Plain. And we also have at the Red Cross Hospital. We also have facilities in Belleville. The Faculty of Community and Health Sciences is located in central Belleville. And as I mentioned, the AR/VR Center has now been established in central Belleville as well.
I like what the VC had mentioned on that evening when the Legacy Fund was launched at UWC, Professor Pretoria, saying that more than 60 years ago, as you had mentioned as well, UWC started with just 166 students and we were called a bush college, but no one knew that this bush was a floral kingdom with some of the most unique plants in the world. Let us grow this kingdom and keep UWC's legacy alive. And one can see that, particularly just looking at the growth of the university. I mean, physically, how it stretches quite a bit of Robert Sobukwe now, where previous years was located maybe in just one corner of that particular road, but it's undeniably has grown.
That's absolutely true. The institution has, as I said, a diversity of qualifications. We have a diversity of people that serve the institution. Our students come from various parts of the world, and we definitely are a very progressive institution. Just in terms of our ranking in the Times Higher Education that was released about 2 weeks ago, we've been placed sixth in the sub-Saharan African universities. So this is a major achievement for the University of the Western Cape. So we are far from being a bush university. We are an international player.
Oh, absolutely. And congratulations on that. That is a great accolade for the work that the institution continues to do. So, Professor Singh, I would imagine you'd be turning to alumni, to staff, to benefactors, to friends of the university, to all be a part of this legacy foundation. How do we contribute?
Well, Benito, we've done our calculations, and in order to reach the milestone of 200 million rands in 10 years' time, we need to have 35,000 people making a monthly donation of a mere 50 rands per month over this period of 10 years. 35,000 people will get us 200 million rands, which is a large sum of money, but it is achievable if we have the correct mass of people that are making this donation. I always use the example of a burger. It is all that we are saying. Sacrifice one burger per month, which is about 50 rands today, and you can make a huge difference into the growth and development of UWC and South Africa and Africa at large.
So how do we go about doing this, Professor? How can our listeners contribute to the Legacy Fund?
It's very simple. Go to www.donate.uwc.ac.za and simply follow the prompts. And it is very easy. We offer secure services for you to make a donation online. Alternately, for those who wish to make a once-off donation, you can make contact with the university. All our details are available on the university website in order to get more information about the fund and to be able to make a lump sum donation.
Professor Anesh Maniraj Singh, Director of Institutional Advancement at the University of the Western Cape. Professor, thank you so much for joining us. Congratulations on the launch of the Legacy Fund and all strength on attaining that target. Thank you for joining us.
Well, thank you very much, Benito. I truly appreciate the opportunity.
Smile.
90.4 FM.
90.4 FM.
Professor Anesh Singh from